For the last 2 years, Bayfield Training, in partnership with the Land Collective, have organized essay competitions, which usually addresses the trend topics in real estate. So due to the direct impact of the pandemic on retail, the question of this year competition was to discuss what can be done to revive high streets and how to make the bricks and mortar retail experience more exciting, successful, and inclusive for all of us in a post-pandemic world. So the first prize of the competition is a place on our flagship course, the Real Estate Analyst, Financial Modeling in Excel. And today we are delighted to interview the winner of our 2022 essay competition, Dylan Mackey, who is currently studying his undergraduate degree in business at the University of Strathclyde. And I would like to do this because I like other students to be engaged and apply to this competition, which I think it will be very beneficial for them. So Dylan, thank you very much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me and choosing me as the winner of your competition.
Great, thank you very much. So Dylan, I have some questions for you. I will be asking about your background, a little bit of your background, the essay topic, and then your future professional career that you might have in mind. So my first question is, could you tell us a bit more about your current studies?
Yeah, so I study business analysis technology, specifically at Strathclyde. It looks at selling back-end technology solutions to front-end users. It's very much technology-based, but not technology-skilled, so it's more of a people person job. It's more of like a sales consultancy type of role. And I'm in the second year of that just now. So I have 2 more to finish my undergrad.
Right. And so regarding the competition, where did you hear about Land Collective and why did you decide to apply?
I got an email through my university inbox in maybe about December, November time. And I wasn't going to apply. I liked the topic, which was the main reason I applied. But me and my flatmate got COVID over the Christmas period from like December 22nd. So I had 2 weeks inside with nothing to do. So I had time to actually work on it, and I was away from family and friends and stuff. So I just done it then.
I would like to know a little bit more about your essay. What were your thoughts on this question that we actually presented to the students? So can you tell us a little bit more about the key areas that you addressed?
Yeah, of course. So obviously the essay focuses on revitalising the high street after the COVID-19 pandemic. I think a big part of my essay that I wanted to stress was that although the pandemic affected the high street, it's not necessarily the cause of the decline of it. I think the online, the movement towards shopping online for people is the biggest downfall, and it's because the high street can't compete with online anymore. Like, prices are cheaper, choices wider, and lead times are now faster with companies like Amazon doing same-day delivery. So it's kind of hard to fault people from choosing to go online, because as well as it not meeting value requirements for people, it's also not an enjoyable experience. So my essay touched on making the high street more enjoyable for individual retailers to have an experiential model rather than just selling stuff, selling an actual experience of shopping that's enjoyable to consumers. I also looked at the space from an architectural one, where high streets are drab grey and it's just lined with shops. I can only think of my high street in Glasgow. Buchanan Street is a prime example. It's called the Style Mile, but it's just this grey, drab mile up the street with retailers and card shops and closed down shops. My idea was to look at where tourists go when they visit countries and take out consumerism and adapt high streets to mimic like what people like to do when they're not spending money anyway, so that people want to go to places and then include the shops after, if that makes sense. A big thing I find that's wrong with society in general, but especially the high street, is there's no collaboration. between businesses and end users and the council. So my idea was to set up collectives where a percentage of profits per business in a high street would go into a community fund, which would be used to revitalise the high street. That would also be in line with local councils, which would give business rate cuts to businesses that comply. Sorry if that's all a bit wordy. The main idea was that we all share the responsibility of revitalising the high street into a space that's inclusive and that works for the new generation's needs. And to do that, we should all share the responsibility, but also include the actors that will use the space. So when we talk about being more inclusive for people with disabilities and different needs, those people should be the forefront of the conversation and should be included rather than just be talked about. And I think that was the main point of it.
So obviously you got the prize, you attended one of our flagship courses, the Real Estate Analyst Financial Modeling Excel. And I would like to know what were the key learning points that you took away from the course?
I came into the course with a complete novice background of both real estate and Excel, which was quite a unique position for someone doing a real estate analysis course. So I learned a lot, like a whole lot. I learned a lot about real estate and the technicalities of financial modeling, but I also learned how to think about Excel and how it works and how to be very flexible with your inputs and your thought process when putting stuff into Excel, which I think broad strokes I can take away and apply to other areas that aren't just real estate. So yeah, I feel like I got a whole lot from the course that I didn't expect to.
Why do you think this course can help develop your career further?
I guess just adding to your skill set in general is a big thing. Like having a degree now isn't enough. You've got to constantly be adding and updating your skills to be employable. But I think this course specifically, using Excel is a great skill to have, but being able to think about like problem solve is a soft skill that I think really gets honed in during the course. The way it was taught put you at the forefront of actually learning the problems. And I think that was an important takeaway that I could apply to real world scenarios.
Yeah. What would you like to do when you finish your study? Do you have anything in mind?
Nothing concrete just now. I think that's an important thing, not to be kind of dead set in your ways. But the progression for my course right now would be business consultancy with technology, looking at matching front-end users with back-end software. It's very much a sales-driven people role, which I think suits my learning style and suits my kind of personality type. But after doing the course, I think it's opened up my eyes a wee bit to the options that could be out there. I think most people just go down pathways that they find themselves on, and it's quite nice to have a break from that and actually see something else in case I like it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, that's great. Thank you very much for your time, Dylan, and congratulations again for winning the competition. And to finish this interview, I would like to encourage other students from any background that are interested in real estate that enroll into this competition. Is a really good way to learn the industry, and then you can get a place on this kind of courses that can help you in any way, just because you're learning about Excel and you get great skills for any other kind of job. So yes, please enroll into this competition. We will have another one in 2023. And yeah, I think that's it for today.